Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello sir, my name is Kanaya Wahyu Putri from 04CG002. And now I would presentation for final semester semantic. So I took predication material for the presentation final semester. And now, what is predication? Predication is a relation between a predicate and a set of an argument. The content words in a sentence predicates on reference in a particular context of utterance if the sentence is true in this context. For example, a tall, beautiful woman entered class. An example sentence is the building in the corner is a class. And second is predicates and arguments. The meanings of the predicating words in the sentence are concepts that concern one or more entities. Application, the abuse and company concern on entity each, the even concepts and concerns free. Such concepts are called predicates. The entities they concern are their arguments. And now, here are some other predicates and arguments. Mary slept. Mary is an argument and slept is the predicate. And the second is Peter is tall. Peter is an argument and is tall are the predicate. Is the predicate, sorry. And the third is verbs are combined with separate arguments, terms for each of their arguments. The number of arguments determines whether the verb is classified as one plus verb, a two plus verb. And now, major types of verbs. There are three types of verbs. The first is intransitive verbs, the second is transitive verbs, and the third is the transitive verbs. The first is intransitive verbs. Intransitive verb is the opposite of a transitive verb. It does not require an object to act upon. For example, they jump, the dog ran. And the second is transitive verbs. Transitive verbs are not just verbs that can take an object. They demand objects. Without an object to affect, the sentence that a transitive verb inhabits will not seem complete. For example, please bring. Bring what? Or bring whom? The question raises itself because the meaning of bring demands it. Here are some more examples of transitive verb and their objects. The girls carry water to their village. The girls carry water to their village. And the second is Juan threw the ball. Juan threw the ball. And the last is the transitive verb. The transitive verbs are used when someone other than the subject receives something as the result of the action of verb. And now the example is I sent him a letter. I sent him a letter. And the second is they gave mother the presents. They gave mother the presents. And the fourth is noun and adjectives. There are two types of nouns. The first is one plus nouns. The majority of nouns constitute one plus predicate terms. Unlike verbs, one plus nouns are not combined with a separate arguments term. They are primarily used as the head of referring and PS that function. For example, as a verb complement. The dog managed to open the door. In the argument of the one plus noun dog is the referent of the subject and P the dog, and analogously for the noun door. Both nouns have a referential argument. The second is relational nouns. Some nouns constitute two place predicate terms. These are called relational nouns. One group is kinship terms. Example, uncle and sister. My uncle is going to marry Molly's sister. And now, major types of adjectives. One plus adjectives. Most adjectives are one plus predicate terms when used in their basic form. The positive is opposed to the comparative form. And the second is two plus adjectives. Some adjectives, example, other than, different from, similar to, fond of, satisfied with, keen on, have second argument. It is invariably specified by a PP complement, by a separate argument term. For example, is my uncle is very fond of Molly's sister. And now, um, predicate logic notation. The fifth is predicate logic notation. One plus predicate terms Kate, application, W's company. And the sixth is thematic rules. The different arguments of a verb predicate are referred to as its roles or participants. A transitive verb has two roles, for example, the either, and the thing eaten, the opener and the opened, the helper and the helped. The seventh is selectional restrictions. A predicate term cannot be combined with arbitrary complements. In addition to the requirements of grammar, argument terms underlie semantic restriction due to logical condition imposed on possible argument terms. The discussion will be restricted to verbs, but the same applies to adjectives and nouns. Selectional restriction of verbs to somewhat strange example may illustrate what kinds of conditions are involved. The cook has murdered an eggplant. The potatoes are frying the cook. And now the process of fusion. The combination of a predicate term with a complement results into search of information about the argument. First, the complement provides an explicit specification of it. Second, the predicate contributes implicitly the selectional restriction for the argument. Selectional restriction and meaning shifts. If fusion leads to contradiction, it may be possible to obtain an admissible reading by means of a meaning shift. Let us first consider an instance of metonymy. Moscow declares the Chechen rebels defeat. And now is and the last is semantic irregularity. The massive occurrence of meaning shifts in the interpretation of actual sentence blurs a question that is central to semantic analysis. The question of semantic irregularity. The notion of selectional restriction provides us with one clear type of cases if a specification of an argument term in the sentence is logically incompatible with the selectional restrictions, then the construction is semantically irregular. Simple as this seems to be, we have seen that semantic irregularity is a question of the readings assumed for the predicate term and its argument specification. For instance, sentence above, the cook has murdered an eggplant is semantically irregular only if we assume the lexical meanings of murdered eggplant. It becomes regular, interpretable if we allow an appropriate meaning shift of either the verb or the direct object. I think enough for my video. I'm sorry if there are many mistaken for me. Thank you for your attention, sir. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.